explain to our viewers what you mean by intersectionality?
So intersectionality is like, okay, me as a white woman, I have one intersection, and that intersection would be gender. The Black women that I was in prison with, however, have multiple oppressions. So each one of these intersections is a form of oppression that is visited on them. If you're a Black woman, you have race as an intersection, you have gender as an intersection, you have culture as an intersection, and now you're incarcerated. So incarceration is an intersection on its own. And while Black men and white women were making gains in the employment world, Black women were still not making gains. So, I mean, even as pay goes, they're still at the bottom of that ladder. And it has a lot to do with intersectionality. Same thing with the American natives. You know, they have an oppression of historic trauma that is visited upon them. So it's not only that they're Native Americans, but there's historical trauma within the generations. Asian Americans, same thing. They're hypersexualized. They're associated with employment in nail parlors and that kind of work, and that kind of emotional labor is also intersectional.
So Laura, why do you care about these other groups of women?
I care so much because when I went to prison, I saw so many women that were suffering that never had a chance. They never had a chance as children. There was no equity. There was no education available to them. There was no bookmobiles. There was no understanding. Just like I was not understood when my house was foreclosed upon, these women were not understood from the time they were children. And then you want to take people and you want to put them in prison. You want to criminalize poverty. Like, to me, it just hurt me because these women, they became my sisters. They were my friends. And I left them, I left them behind in prison. And I don't want that to be for nothing. I want to go back for them. I want to help them, and I want to help the women that come behind them, feel like there's somebody, like I feel like somebody now, and it's just like, that's what drives me every day. I still stay in touch with a lot of these women, and they're my biggest cheerleaders, you know what I mean? I don't have a lot of confidence in myself a lot of the time. And I've made a lot of poor choices and mistakes, which, I feel fully accountable for, but they believe in me and they believe that I can do it, so.
Well, you can. You may have made some bad choices, but you've also made the choice to get 4.0s. I made that choice and wasn't capable of getting a 4.0, right? So listen, I really admire what you've chosen to do with your life, despite what has happened to you and what you brought upon yourself. Now's the time to bring some other things upon yourself. And it looks like, well, it is a reality that the things that you're bringing upon yourself are not only going to help yourself, but help other people. And I think that's beautiful. I think I knew there was something about you. I wanted to have you on Cops and Convicts with us today. And I'm glad I made that decision. I'm glad you accepted my invitation to come on the show. Look, this is only our third show, and this is our first virtual show. And I wanted to make sure that our first virtual show featured you. And our viewers, I didn't know anything about you.
Nope.
When you said that you were incarcerated, I had no idea what you had done. So for our viewers that are watching, again, I want to remind everyone to hit the subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button for us. This was a learning experience for me, listening to all you've done and what you're doing now. And I'm confident that a lot of people who watch this are going to be cheering for you, like the women that you say you've left behind, and want to help. And if there's anything that I can do for you or we can do for you on this show to help you continue to move forward and help others, you have my contact information, because that's what this is all about. This isn't just about entertainment. This is about changing people's perspectives so that their behavior can change. And that's what you
Absolutely.
ultimately want to do with your degrees, is get people's perceptions to change so that their behaviors change, right? We're
Right.
not just what has happened to us. We're not just the sum of the poor decisions that we've made. We're human beings. And that's one of the things that I remember that you said in this interview, that I'm not going to call those people illegal aliens. I'm not going to call them undocumented. They're human beings.
Right.
And I appreciate you saying that, Laura. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And let me just add, I stay in my son's 4-bedroom house over here in North Carolina. So that little boy that I took everywhere with me, that I fought for, that I starved for, you know, he's over in Syria right now as a special forces soldier. And I just want to give him a shout out and tell him how proud I am. And, you know, I may have made a lot of sacrifices, but I'm living in his 4-bedroom house right now. So he turned out to be a very good, decent human being.